Good morning, students. I hope all of you are fine. And after the month of June, I think the first week of June, maybe June 3rd or 4th, that was the last meeting that we had, and probably the last lesson that we discussed was the third level. Right, students? Probably you remember that. Long days passed, almost more than 120 days, and again this is the reunion after 120 days. Okay. So, I welcome all of you. Students, many exams you have appeared, even the appearance strength is quite satisfactory. One descriptive, one MCQ, then maybe 5 assignments that you have appeared. Most of you also have submitted it successfully, I mean submission in the time, and that gives a very healthy picture, right? Okay, students. So, today our task is to discuss the writing skill. First of all, we will discuss the short composition. Students, you know, advanced writing skills in class 12th is divided into 2 parts, or you can say 2 sections. One is the short composition and another one is the long composition. In short composition, this time you have with the revised syllabus, notice writing, then advertisement, formal and informal invitation and reply to the invitation. Similarly, in long composition, you have article writing, speech writing, debate, then narrative writing, then the transformation from visual to non-visual. I mean some data will be there in the form of pie chart, in the form of histogram, yes, in the form of any graph or any diagrammatical or you can say diagrammatic or diagram based representation, and your job will be to convert it into the words. Similarly, the opposite one, data may be in words, but you have to transform it in the form of a pie chart, in the form of a histogram or in the form of a bar diagram, right. So, these are all about your writing sections to speak in a very brief words. So, students, our job today will be the short composition. And in short composition, we will read today notice writing. Of course, notice writing is not anything new for you. You are quite acquainted, you are well versed and well acquainted with notice writing, but scoring full marks in writing section, it matters a lot, because in literature section it becomes difficult, of course not impossible to score full marks, but writing section makes the job easy, and the loss that you may witness in the literature section, if you are good with the writing section, it will compensate the loss. So, we do not think about loss actually, but this is a good chance, a good platform to score full marks. Notice writing, of course, you have the practice since class 6, but with the passage of time and with the advancement of new standards, I mean from class 6 to 7, then from 7 to 8, and in the subsequent standards, it requires a different level of difficulty, different mechanics. Of course, when you come to the higher secondary level in class 12, it requires a different mechanics. And to be very short, I will show you a few samples. Do not consider all these samples to be 100% right. Deliberately, I have brought today some incorrect notice writing mechanics, and your task will be to find out the incorrect one and to substitute it with the correct one, right. Similarly, you will have one sample where it has been very categorically discussed, described the weightage of marks in terms of the different mechanics. For example, the title, the name of the institution, then the body of the notice writing, then the signature and the designation. So, each component has its different weightage, right. So, based on this, I will show you a few images on notice writing, and once again I will repeat it, do not consider all the images, all the handouts to be 100% true. Of course, all of them are 95% correct, accurate, but somehow or somewhere it differs. So, the purpose is, if you rely on the web based data, I mean the data from the internet, from Google or any search engine, then you may have a problem to score the full marks. So, always it requires a concrete practice, or concrete data should be represented, should be reflected in the answer sheet, so that you deserve to score full mark, right students. So, within a short while I will show you some images based on notice writing. Okay. Students, are you having the visibility? The screen that you are visualizing now, that you are watching now, is it having the clear visibility? I mean in terms of the font size and all the mechanics. Okay. Can you identify all the words written there? Okay. Then students, let me read this. Here first of all we have name of the issuing agency or authority. Here you can say the name of the institution, if it is the name of the school, college, name of the organization, right, or you can say name of the company. Then below it you will find the word notice all in capital letters and preferably in bold, right. Then remember the left hand side, here you have to write the date on which you are writing the notice. Then come to the central part, the center point, here you will write the title or subject of the event. Some of you, I can't say most of you or all of you, but some of you, every year it is observed that the title or the subject which should be in the central part, it is placed in the left hand side, which goes wrong. Because students, whenever one reader will read the notice, for example, AECS for Rawatbhata will publish a notice, and when I will read it, when I will have my first glance over the notice, then pinpointedly the notice should reflect what it is about. It is about a cultural event, it is about a meeting, or is it about an excursion program, or a refresher course for the teachers, or the reopening of the school and the students come back. So, what it is about, it should be and it must be placed on the central part. So, title or subject must come on the central part, right. Then you will have the body of the notice. Here certain things you must remember, write the date, time, duration, place and venue. Then again students, come back to the left hand side, where you will write your signature, short name you can write. Then after that you will write your full name, then your designation. For example, designation can be any, right, cultural secretary, president of the Rotary Club, right, head boy of the school. It is based on the questions, right. Then again you will put your signature, right. So, here in the end 3 components will come, like your name means full name, then your designation, like I gave the example cultural secretary or president of the Rotary Club, head boy of the school, anything, then you put your signature, right. 3 things you will write in the end. Then students, I hope you understood this, right. Then I hope you got to know a very simple format of notice writing. Is it clear to you students, or is anybody having any doubt or any discrepancy? Please give your views. You take the help of the chat box. Okay. Most of you are saying that it is clear, fine. Then students, we will move towards another example. Okay. I hope you are having the clear view of this. Fine. Here students, you will find a real example. You will get a model or a sample answer here, right. You see whether it is having the well proportionate data, whether it is having the good proportion in terms of the theory that we discussed earlier before this, the first handout that we discussed today. So, students, you will first find the name of the institution, that is St. Xavier Public School, Delhi. Then the word notice printed in bold, and here please look at the mark where it has been reflected, writing the word notice here and writing the date here, for example, 27 January, and you will have to put the year. Then it consists of 1 mark together with name of the organization, institution, office or the issuing body, who is on behalf of which the notice is being written, right. Then students, come to the title. It is inter-school fancy dress competition. Are you having the visibility? Okay. Then let me maximize this. So, students, here you will get an inter-school fancy dress competition is being organized on 12th February at Tagore Theatre. Those willing to take part in the items which our school will be presenting should come for selection on 1st February, the name of the year, at 12:30 p.m. Here you are getting the time. Then in the assembly hall, it is the venue where the event will take place, where the event will be conducted. So, here you are writing the date, the time and the venue, the place, right. Only class 6 to 8 students are eligible. Other important data can also be written here. Then any instruction you can write opening of a new paragraph, just a one-liner paragraph. Dresses should be arranged by the participants. This is a special instruction. Then, as we had discussed in the previous handout, the same thing is reflected here. For example, the short name, then the designation, that is cultural secretary, right. But here one thing is missing. So, students, can you please say, it is clear cut that it is not the 100% correct data, somehow something is missing. So, can you trace it out, what this writing should incorporate, what must be incorporated here to score full marks. If you write this, of course, you have written the name of the institution, you have written the notice, you have written the date, you have written the title. In the body part, you have reflected the date, the time, the venue, given the instructions, but still something is missing. Can you please locate it? Can you point it out? Then it will have the answer, right? Okay. Can anybody? Okay, signature. Some of you are telling signature. Fine. Let me see this. Whether we are missing this. Okay. Yes, student. Signature number 1. Thank you so much. Right. Full name should be there. A thank you note should be there. It must be reflected. We have to thank the readers who will read the notice, right, because writing should be pleasant, should be comfortable, should have a warmth and a vibrant one. Then okay, correct, I agreed, but apart from that, apart from signature, are we missing something else? Yes. Are we missing something else? So, if we write this notice, we can't score full mark, right? Okay. Can anybody point it out? Very crucial data, we are missing it. Students, in the previous example, I had cited something, I had given an example. Even below the designation, something must be there which should be proportionate to the designation. For example, okay, some of you are saying to show the slide again. Okay, students. So, you will find that name of the cultural organization is being missed. For example, here cultural secretary is there, AECS for Cultural Society, name of the cultural team or name of the cultural organization must be reflected, right. Of course, you have written the name of the school, institution on whose behalf the notice is being written, but you are representing, right, you are having a designation to the cultural organization, or you can say to the cultural club. So, you must write here the name of the cultural club, anything you can write, right. For example, AECS for Sanskritik Parishad or the cultural council, common name also you can write, even a proper name also you can write. So, that part we are missing. Then students, we will say another one. This is This is another form of notice writing. Here you will find some discrepancies. Here the word date and year is mentioned at the right hand side. It is good, no mistake, but since we are highly adjusted, we are acquainted with the computer system which begins from left to right. So, it will become easy on our part to begin from the left. So, all the data which should be in the left must be written in the left. So, we can save the time, we do not have to get the hesitation when we write it, when we write the answer in the exam hall. So, with much confidence, once you remember this on which hand, which side you have to place the data, then it becomes easy and chances of scribbling will become negligible, right. There will be least chances of scribbling, overwriting and all those, right. Then here of course, data is there, title is there, right. Then this is to inform all students that our school is organizing a green drive to create awareness among the students and the general public about the need to conserve our forests and wildlife as part of the World Wildlife Day celebration on 3rd March. All students are requested to participate and make a difference to the world. For more information, please contact the undersigned. Of course, we are missing the thank you note number 1. Secondly, can you say students what else we are missing here? Yes. Can you say what else we are missing here? Right. Okay, date on wrong side, right. You can write the date on the right side, it is good, but since much data is to be written in the left hand side, then it will have a symmetry, right. Then one more thing, name and designation should not be in the same line. Designation must come below the signature, and same mistake also happens here, like in the previous one, name of the club is not there for which you are a representative. For example, we can write there then Eco Club, then name of the school, Eco Club AECS 4 Rawatbhata, or Green Club AECS 4 Rawatbhata, or any name of the school, or any name as it is reflected in the question, right. So, students, can you now divide or make a list of the aspects which must be written on the notice writing, right. Now, we will come to the point, we will make a list of the aspects, the components, and once we remember those, once we develop a command over those, then not a single item would go missing, right. Every one will be reflected, giving the complete justice to the writing, to the demands of the question. For example, I will write a few, then I will look for your contribution. Number 1, name of the institution. Name of the institution, maybe the school or college, so that I wrote institution. Then name of the organization, right. For example, a profit making body, a company, right. Then this is number 1, and it must be written in capital letter, right. Then second, the word notice, it should be written in capital. Don't override this to exaggerate or to make it colorful. Notice writing is always a formal writing. So, we should write all data, we should furnish all data in formal way, most formal way, right. The word notice in capital letter below the name of the institution or below number 1. Then number 3rd aspect, date in the left hand side. Date in the left hand side. Students, you can ask me, will there be wrong or incorrect if I write in the right hand side? No, it can't be incorrect, but writing from the left would give you a sense of accuracy. Chances of mistake would become least, because much more data you have to begin from the left. So, for the convenience, for your convenience, we would like to place it in the left hand side, right. Like when we write in application also, when we type in MS Word and application also, we put the date in the left hand side. Similarly, this is the computer based world, technology based generation. So, somehow or somewhere we follow the technology, right. So, notice, then this will be in left hand side, then body of the notice, leave one line space between date and body, then here you will write the date, here you will write the time and venue, name of the place. In one of the samples that we discussed, time is not there, only date is there. So, this is incomplete, right. So, date, time and venue must be there. Then number 5, as most of you gave the answer, a thank you note may be there, but it can be treated as optional also, but you can write the thank you note. Students, all the data, all the instructions can't be presented in a notice. So, you must write one sentence, as I showed you in a particular slide. One sentence you must write, that you write before the thank you note, if you are going to write the thank you note. For more details, please contact the undersigned, right, because in the notice we can't give all the information. In an exhaustive way, we can't give the information. So, one sentence you must write. For more information or for more details, please contact the undersigned, right. Then you can write here the one liner, here I can write for more details. Yes, students. Then I hope these 6 points are having the clarity, you are having the visibility also. let me write a few more points, right. So, this is of 6, then number 7 I will write the signature, then number 8 will become designation, now students, at this particular point I will take you back to the slides, the samples that we discussed today. Designation is there, but name of the organization to which the designation is suitable is not reflected. For example, president is there, but president of what? Whether it is the cultural club or the eco club or the dramatic society or the literary society. So, it must reflect for what the designation is being reflected, the designation is being written, right. Here this should have the symmetry, right. You can say the cultural society, right, or you can write the eco club, or you can write the literary society, right. So, 8 points you must remember, of course 9 is there. I had told you the 9th point also, the last point when you were in class 11, could you please remember that, otherwise you will lose 1 mark. If all the points also you write, you reflect in your answer sheet, but still full mark you can't score, because you are missing something crucial, something important, even you can say something most important. Can you please name that? Okay. Yes, someone of you have given the answer. Subject of the notice we are missing, right. So, after the notice you will write the subject, after the notice you will write the subject. So, still I am not giving you the full data, I will give you some samples where you will find all the data in an exhaustive way. So, 1 plus you will have, like after notice you will have the title, then this will become 7, this will become 8 and this will become 9. Now, in broad also, if I do not categorize it, I can take it into 1 point like signature and designation, right. But for your convenience, to make the things easy enough, I am segmenting this and making another sections, right. Now, suppose you wrote the notice, then also the target is not fulfilled. What else you have to do? Right. So, this will become 3 become the subject, of course, it is also will be in capital, then it will become 4, right. Then subsequently it will become 5, it will become 6, it will become 7, then here 8, 9. Here we discuss the discrepancy, which is not reflected in the previous slide, right. Then students, suppose you wrote the notice, completely you wrote it. Thank you so much. Astha Dwivedi has written you have to close the notice with a box. Even Hitesh has written this. Somil Jain closed in a square bracket, yes, enclose it in a box, Divanshi has told, fine. Many of you have given the correct answer. Always you put the notice inside a box, otherwise you are losing half mark, right. So, this is very simple actually, because things are not new for us. We have a good old practice since class 6, 7 years before we have started writing notice. We know it very clearly. Varieties of notice we can write, but writing with justice, giving all the parameters with accuracy, that matters a lot, right students. So, finally, you have to close it inside a box. Then this is all about official writing, but something varies, differences we find. For example, someone of you have lost your wristwatch in the school campus and you have to write a notice. Yes, because it is valuable, because it is your article and you want to get it back. If someone has found it, because you are sure that you have lost it in the school premise, right. So, there normally question comes from this section also. There you will find a slight variation, right. So, in the subject part it will be lost, lost and lost, like in the pamphlet the newspaper owners or the newspaper hawkers place it inside the newspapers. So, similar kind of things you will find here. So, in the subject part you will do the variation, then in the body part you will describe it, the name of the object, the name of the product, yes, or the name of the company if it is there, mention the time also at which you lost it and the venue which you think to be the point of losing it, right. For example, subject will become like this, right. Exclamatory mark will inspire the readers, motivate the readers to go through the notice, right. It speaks more about the content of the notice, so it must be written. Remember students, notice writing should be very comprehensive and short. All data can't be given. So, the one liner I told you, you must write that, because all the instructions can't be given in a notice, and notice should be short, so that people will develop the interest to go through the notice, to read the notice, right. So, this is all about the notice writing that we discussed. In the other class, we will discuss one more variety of short composition, right. So, thank you students. Kindly make the note with the mention of the date, so that even after 1 month if you go back and you can turn over the pages of your notebook, you can easily find it out what was done on what date, right. Thank you students.